A bit of a rollicking song for a Thursday morning. Elton John with Sad Songs Say So Much. We have a special guest, as I said, previous to that song. We have Lara. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Lara's from Mandurah.
That's correct.
So, why are we here, Lara?
We're here because I belong to an organisation called The Compassionate Friends.
Sorry, The
Compassionate Friends.
Yep.
And I'm going to be on a table at Wellness Wednesday. Mental Health Week not next week, sorry, but on the 1st of October.
That's right.
And that's how I came to be here, because of the wellness.
Oh, okay. And what will you be doing at that?
I'll be manning a table on behalf of the Compassionate Friends.
Mm-hmm.
I am a volunteer for Compassionate Friends. And what Compassionate Friends are, it's an organisation that not financially assists, but helps verbally and comfortingly those people who have lost, or parents who have lost a child from any age by any means.
Oh, wow. That's you would cover a heck of a lot of, from young parents, I'd assume, to grandparents.
Yeah, like me, I'm a grandparent.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
So you had experienced a loss?
Yes, I have. My daughter passed away 5 years ago. So.
Wow.
She was an adult daughter. She was 40 years old.
Oh.
And, so my only daughter. So.
And I can see that it obviously still affects you a lot.
Oh, absolutely. It'll affect me forever, and it affects everybody in the same boat forever. It's not something you get over. You don't get over it.
It's if we're talking about this, which we talk about different subjects, but I have a guest who comes in sort of every couple of Wednesdays. He does, Laura, and he lost a son. When his son was 23.
Yes.
And it was a number of years ago. But he talks about the grief.
Yes.
And he said, which I quite listened to him, he's quite astute. And he said, the thing is, you will have grief all your life.
Correct.
He said, I'm not saying this is right, it's what he said, so we'll talk. He said, it's not, you can't bury grief,
no.
As in, so he said what you have to do is learn, even you're going to have more grief in your life, it's how you deal.
Yes, how you deal with it, how you process it, how you accept it.
And what led you, how do you deal with it?
Well, how I deal with it is actually the Compassionate Friends, because when I go to their meetings, everybody at Compassionate Friends is in the same boat. They all have lost a child. So therefore, and I know it sounds terrible to be comforted by that, but we have something in common.
That's it.
All of us have something in common. And believe it or not, that helps.
Oh, look, I don't know, but I would assume it would, in that it's a bit like, I'm not trying to sound blasé, but you find, say, a lot of people who, whether it be a drug dependency or something like that, they find that if they associate with people who've gone through that there's a lot of understanding there.
Yes.
So I would assume, again, that, as tragic as it is, that would be what happens. So do you have many go to your meetings?
It varies.
Yes.
We have Mother's Day meetings, and of course it varies. When I first went, there was quite a number, 30 or 40. The last time I think there was about 23, and it varies because people have different things to do on Mother's Day. And I always make a point to go to those meetings. And it was at one of those meetings last Mother's Day, not this year. Last year I went to a Mother's Day meeting, and that's when they said we need volunteers. Everybody in the organisation is a volunteer, as I am.
Yeah.
And so I put up my hand, and it's taken a fair while for me to get to this point of comfortably being and talking about my daughter and Compassionate Friends.
It's a big step, isn't it? Do you find that now that you're involved, that it's not easier, but you learn to sort of talk a little bit easier than when it first occurred or not?
Yes, definitely. I manned the table at the Mandurah Forum yesterday because it was World Suicide Day yesterday.
Was it?
Worldwide Suicide Day.
Seriously?
Yes. And although my child did not pass from suicide, I was with somebody whose child did. So, which is good. And he was there because if someone came along, it's totally different. It's a totally different set of grief for a child who has passed by an accident or by a disease compared to a person who has had a child pass from suicide. Totally different.
And do you find that, in your group, Laura, is there more prevalent, more women getting involved and men, or is it pretty much?
No, there is, in Mandurah, there is more women. Yes, I have been to Compassionate Friends in Sydney where the ratio is a little bit different. There's not more men, but there's more men than there is in Mandurah. So, and it's a bigger place, of course. Sydney's different. So.
Do you find that, and I'm not trying to take a sex side of it as regards men versus women, do you find that the men find it a bit harder to show grief than women?
I think definitely, yes. I do think that. And it shows because a lot of men have lost children and they deal with it differently, and they just deal with it themselves. And those who feel that they need to be with other people, they're the ones that come along to the Compassionate Friends.
Which is quite ironic, because I was saying the gentleman comes in every second Wednesday, he lost a son. He said that, and I'm not, you know what I mean, it's a conversation, it's not like what he says is right. But men tend to bury grief. It's okay, I'll get along with it, you know. And he said, but it doesn't go away.
No.
But men are more likely, not all the time, to have that, she'll be right, mate, I know this has happened, blah, blah, blah. Whereas, you know, I think it's important that that these sort of, that people out there know that it's okay. You know, it's okay for men. I'm not taking particularly, or anybody. It's okay to cry.
It is, yeah, definitely.
You know,
absolutely.
And I think I'm going to just question. Sometimes I think people feel vulnerable to opening up.
Yes.
Do you find that in your?
With me personally, with women, or with men?
Oh no, but actually with you personally, because you've gone through it.
Yes, yes. I do. It takes a fair while to actually. It's taken me a while to actually open up and to talk about my daughter, and I'm pretty sure men are the same, because we don't want to cry in front of other people, and that's the whole issue, I think. Yeah, which is part, isn't it? I mean, because I think as we don't like to be seen as vulnerable, and I think. Sometimes I was speaking to the gentleman comes to, I think to be vulnerable, funnily enough, I think it's a strength. Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we have a lot to do with our grandparents, and I'm a grandparent, they were different. Men and women were different. They weren't as vulnerable, or they weren't showing as being as vulnerable. No, they were totally different. So if we have a lot to do with our grandparents of that era, totally different. And now it's changing, and the men are becoming softer, and it's okay for men to cry, and are you okay? Yes. So that's... Yeah. And I, excuse me, so what do you when you, how often do you have your meetings, Laura? We have them once a month. Okay. But if you are in need of talking to somebody, then you can just ring the office, and someone will be there. Someone will come and talk to you. Yes. Wow, so you actually do you have an office? Yes, we have an office with a special room. Wow. It's called the Green Room, and it's quiet and it's soft and comforting. The chairs are comfortable, and Margot, I call Margot the boss, but Margot will come and talk to people. Yes.
And has Margot gone through, obviously?
Yes. Yeah. A suicide and a death. Yes. Oh. Yeah. I think both. Yes.
Really? Mm. It's I think again just a subject that we can. I think death is a taboo subject as well with a lot of people. That they don't like to talk about it. I was the same thing.
Unbelievably, you've hit the nail on the head. When we go to a meeting, we talk about our children. When people come to us and they've heard that, Lara's daughter has passed away, they don't want to come and talk to me because they don't want to upset me. And that we find that, all of us, we all find that. I'm not speaking for everyone, but the majority find that people won't come up and talk to them because, I don't want to upset her, I don't want to upset him, I had better be very careful. Or they stay away.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And again, I worked with a lady who lost a child to a motorcycle accident. I think he was youngish,
yes,
20 or maybe less than 20, and she said exactly the same thing. She said people ignore you, not nastily ignore you, but they don't want to talk. And would you say, Laura, that if I was to ask questions about you and your daughter, do you think that it's as me asking the questions, I soon learn whether you want to shut up shop or whether you want to talk?
You would soon learn, I think, but, all of us who have lost a child, there is a point where we can't say anything, but we do want to talk about our children. But
okay, how do you mean then?
Well, we want to talk about, like if I want to talk about Cassie, I would say how vibrant she was and how lovely she was, and how what a blessing that I have grandchildren from her. What I used to do, I used to call her my Barbie doll, those kind of things. We would talk about our children, and that's what we all love to do. But the first, I think for me, it was the first maybe year where I really went to the meetings and couldn't say very much, and then all of a sudden I just wanted to talk about her, and I think most of us are like that. We just want to talk, but other people don't know that. They just, I can't ask her, I can't talk to her, I can't, or him, they just don't understand, I guess. It's
such a Pandora's box, isn't it, when you talk about emotions?
Yes.
And you talk about wanting to talk, and you want about not to talk, because I'm asking, so there's some days where you think, I'd rather not talk about my daughter, and some days when you think, actually, I really want to talk about my daughter. Yeah. Does that happen?
I guess it does. Yes, it does happen. And it has happened to me when I was in a meeting, and I had, I could say anything, but I chose not to at that particular time because that was just my quiet day, and I just needed to have that information for me, not to share it. So yes, we do have those days. Yeah.
How important is it that your group? When I say it sounds to me it's a very important group. How do you get your message out there?
Well, we got the message out yesterday because a lot of people stopped by, and we have a lovely butterfly folder. That's our own.
Yep.
And the butterfly folder gives them information about the Compassionate Friends, and they said, well, not all of them, but the majority said, "Whereabouts are you? I didn't know that this existed."
Yeah.
So. And
that's the problem I find with just digressing a little bit with her, is that even somewhere like us, Laura, we try and have all the community groups that we can.
Yes.
And we get them come in and they go, geez, I didn't know IPL radio existed. Which is much the same thing. Yeah. And it's sad in that there is so much. Whether we Mandurah or Rockingham or Kwinana, there is so much good stuff that volunteer groups do.
Yes.
And like your group, it's a godsend. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know you guys existed. Because you don't know, do you?
No, people don't know. It is, our organisation has a fair bit to do with the police station so that they help us or help people in accidents, referrals. So it's not as if we're not known, but we're just not known enough.
Yes, that's, it's funny. I mean, not that, you see, I'm trying to. People know what is on the television and what gets publicised, and that's great because they're also, whether it or not, makes it sound as if I'm saying one's better than the other. I'm not. No. But people know of Are You OK Day, they know of Telethon, they know of Red Nose Day, they know of Jeans Day, and which are great, and I think it's really good. But there are so many other ones that, I mean, that's a perfect example of what people need to know. And you don't know if you don't know. That's
right. That's true. How I found out about it was that I met Margot at dancing maybe 30 years ago.
Oh, really?
I know. And then I was because I dance, I was at the Senior Sits in Mandurah on, I think it was Seniors Day. And my group of dancing was there, and that we had a table and we did a dancing display, and Margot's had her table there with TCF, the Compassionate Friends. And I went up to Margot, I said, I didn't realise that you belonged to this organisation. She said, yes. She said, I've been in it for a fair while, and we're all volunteers. And because of that, when Cassie passed, I knew where to go.
Yes. That's the thing, isn't it? It's all, and that's one of the things we've become, is that communities, communities should be more community, if that makes sense. But like you say, you go to Senior Sits and you meet somebody and blah, 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 blah. But it's a community basing, even Senior Sits, where you go to Mandurah and Rock, they are avenues to find things out, and it is sometimes difficult to do that.
Yeah, it's not something that I mean, we were at the table yesterday, as I have been in the past, and it's not something you can go up and hand a brochure out.
Well, you wouldn't.
You don't go up and say, have you lost a child? We don't do that. We don't do that. They have to come to us. But the table is there for awareness.
Yeah, that's quite ironic, isn't it? Because you saw those people, with the handing out the things for solar panels and things like
that's
that.
Right. Yes, no, it's totally different. We can't do that.
No. And I suppose, too, it would be if you are trying to sell something, then quite often people go, no, I don't want it.
That's correct.
But with you, I'd imagine it's a little bit more difficult because you might see that actually this person could do with us. But how do you sort of get, around it, if you know what I mean?
Well, when they come to the table, we say, have you heard of our organisation? And that starts a conversation, and they'll say no or yes, and we're able to tell them what we are or what we do. And then from there, if they need that information, then they'll take a pamphlet, or if they know of somebody who needs the information or needs our support, then they will tell them.
What sort of information do you give them in a pamphlet, Laura?
The information is about how we started, or how the organisation started. The Compassionate Friends started in England in 1969.
Oh, wow.
I know. There was a hospital chaplain. He had two sets of parents who didn't know each other come to him and say that their child had just passed away. And then the other set of parents came the next day, and the chaplain was actually bereft. He couldn't help them because he had just lost his mum and his sister in a car accident. So he thought, what can I do? So he contacted these parents and said, meet me here at the hospital at the church at a certain time. So both parents came, and he introduced both parents to each other, and he just sat back and let them talk. From there, that's
yeah.
how it started.
This is, I'm not trying to sound morbid, it's just a general question. If somebody has somebody who they are close to and they are close to death, do those people also approach you, or is that, I'm not being rude, or do you...
Generally not.
Yeah.
Generally it's after, when a child has died.
Right, okay.
And the child can be any age.
Yes.
It doesn't matter, it's your child.
Yeah.
So, no, generally after.
Oh, no, it's just a general, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's somebody in hospice and they know they haven't got long, you know. But yeah, there's a thing, you know, which as a parent myself, Lara, it's just that I would imagine, and without trying to open old wounds, there's a saying that parents have, that there's nothing worse than having to bury your own child.
Absolutely nothing worse. I can assure you of that.
You know?
My husband passed away 4 years before my daughter passed away, and that was totally different compared to my daughter. Yeah, totally different. It was different, emotionally different.
Yeah. I can imagine, I mean, I don't know how old you were when your daughter passed away, but they're still, again, talking as a parent, they're still your children, aren't they?
Yes, that's right.
I mean, and it's no different to me with my wife and you with your ex-husband.
Yeah.
Yes, they are your family, but they're your actual children are always your children.
Yes.
Whereas your husband or wife, you might get divorced, you get another one, but you don't necessarily... I'm just saying, I know it sounds pretty brutal, doesn't it? You know. So how many people do you have at the moment in your organisation?
Do you just mean Mandurah? Because we have lots of branches.
Okay, well,
yes.
I didn't know that. So you're everywhere, are you?
It's a worldwide organisation. We're in 50 countries.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, it's worldwide. It started from 1969 in England. I went to the States, and it came to Australia in 1971 and 1978. That was in Victoria, and 1978 in, I think I've got that right, in Mandurah. It might have been.
Jeez.
Yes. 78, 79. So I might be a couple of years out, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah.
And this is your passion now?
Yes, it is. I like to give back. I understand how people feel. I know how people feel when they've lost a child. And I can feel their pain. But it's you know, I can take it on board, but it's those people who have just lost their child or who come to us after losing them for a year, 5 years, it doesn't matter when, that we can comfort them. So yeah.
It's, you know, and like I was saying before, there's so many community organisations which are there for support, you know, with mental health, with
Yes.
Identification of this, that, the other, and who they are and what they want to be. And it's not that you have to be shunted away, is it?
No. If we're very open-armed, if you need us, we're here.
Yeah. And do you find that because we're at this station very focused on people's mental health,
Yes.
Do you have guidance in that regard as well?
In mental health?
Yeah. Do you see it affects people's... Maybe I should say, do you see it affects people's mental health?
We're all different, and I think it depends on the person. Mm-hmm. It affected my mental health for the first month. I didn't get out of bed. I stayed in bed.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And, yeah. So it did. It did affect my mental health, but then I got on top of it. And so, yes, it does. I'm pretty sure it does affect people's mental health. And you either get on with it and survive, or you fall in a heap.
What you said you stayed in bed for a month. What, for want of a better word, what motivated you, or was your, the thing that made you change a little bit? Like you say, you spent a month in bed, so obviously there was a progress. What drove that progress?
My grandchildren.
Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
How did that work? Oh.
I was always into fight or flight mode, and it was mainly flight with me. So after I spent that month in bed, I got up and I went to Sydney, and I stayed at my brother's place for a month because I couldn't handle being around. Well, it was my, I don't know, I was in a me situation, as we are when we lose a child. It's me. There's no one else around. I don't see anyone else suffering. It's just all about me, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is when you lose a child. So I escaped to Sydney and stayed at my brother's house, and I was there going to meetings 3-4 times a week. Every week for a month I went to a meeting. My grandson rang me, and he said, he was minding my home, and he's my daughter's eldest son. And he said, "Nana, I have a question to ask you." I said, "Yes, mate." He said, "Are you coming home?" Oh my gosh, well, I said, "Yes, I'm coming home next week. I'll be there." And I felt so terrible because what I had done was I'd forgotten that he had lost his mum, and my son had lost his sister. And it did that. I was so engrossed in my own grief. I forgot that he's lost his sister, he's lost his mum, his sister has lost his mum, and I felt so dreadful that I had to go home, and individually I apologised to them and told them I was really sorry, that I was so engrossed in my own grief that I'd forgotten that it was your mum who passed. He said, "Nana, that's okay." He said, "We know why you went. We know what was wrong." And then my son, I spoke to him and I said the same thing. He said, "It's all right, Mum." He said, "I know what was wrong with you." He said, "That's okay."
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yes.
Very. Because, again, it's... I'm just asking the question. It's, again, it's grief and, how we deal with it. It's such a... like some people are lighthearted about it, some people like this. And like you say, it's a very interesting point that you are suffering, but maybe, like you say, I'm only asking the question, that you forget other people are suffering too.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. I mean, I didn't even think that my son had lost his sister and that my grandchildren had lost their mum. It didn't occur to me. I was all about me. Yeah. And I was so engrossed in my own grief that I just ran away. I escaped. And it's very sad. But then my grandson, who was 19, rang me and brought me back to earth.
Isn't that...
yes.
Isn't that lovely? I mean, I know it sounds... It obviously has helped you.
Yes.
And... it's, as I say, it's like you say, you went through that event, and there are other people, aren't there? But it must be so hard. Like, it's easy for us to talk about it now because, of course they lost their mother. But in that time, you're thinking, I've lost my daughter.
Yes.
Nothing could be worse. I've lost my daughter.
That's correct.
I would imagine.
Yeah, no, you're imagining correctly. It was all about me and my own grief. And then I was brought back to life. I was brought back to reality by my grandson saying, "Are you coming home?"
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I said yes.
And sometimes it's just like when we're in situations, it can be just not a throwaway line. It can just be something simple that somebody says, and all of a sudden, it's almost like a light bulb moment.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yes.
So, in generally now, you're in a happy space, as happy as you can be.
I'm in an okay space. Yes.
Okay space, yeah,
yes.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
And like you say, I suppose it stays with you forever.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
But, I suppose, like what you do, does it ease the pain just a little bit or not?
I have my good days and my bad days.
Yeah.
I mean, there'll be a song come on the radio that was Cassie's favourite song, and then I'll be driving along and then I'll start crying.
Yeah.
And that could have been just actually yesterday or the day before. And then and that was a bad day. And I have my really good days, which make me appreciate, the bad days make me appreciate the good. But the bad days don't last as long now. Like, I'm not crying 24/7.
Jeez.
It's down to a minimal, maybe 4 or 5 times a week, maybe for 10 minutes. And I talk to her all the time, as we do. So good and bad days.
It's as we talk about when I talk about death being, I worked in a food. I was a food service. So I was in food service, and there was a lady there who she was European, and as she was my customer, and she had a big business. She lost a child to a car accident, and it was like, when I saw her, it was like 17 years ago, and then. Unfortunately, later she lost her child through cancer. But in the first episode, what I found sad was that she was, for want of a better word, she was bitter to everybody. As a food service rep, she would ride me to the ground and yell at me and scream at me, and no matter what I tried to do to appease her, there was still that bitterness. And I actually thought it was sad that I understood that maybe what had happened, but I thought to carry that bitterness.
Yes.
Did you carry any bitterness?
No, I mean, I was angry that she didn't recover, but I wasn't bitter. I was sad.
Which is there is a difference, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it depends on your nature. I have no idea.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And culture and nature and all those sort of things. So if people want to know more about your organisation...
Yes, the Compassionate Friends.
Yes.
We're in Mandurah at Lottery's House. We are a volunteer organisation, and although the office is open... manned by a volunteer, I think from 10 till 2, there's a phone number that you can contact Margot.
Yep.
She will always answer the phone anytime.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge commitment.
And we, Margot has, naturally, we all can get into the office, but Margot will meet somebody there.
Yeah. And do you have a telephone number, or do you have a website? We're sort of a bit stuck on the old telephone number. Do you have a website where people can log on and find out more about your group? Or not?
Yes, The Compassionate Friends.
There we go.
Yeah.
The Compassionate Friends. So if we type that in on our Google for us older people, type it into Google. It'll
give you all the information.
Oh, that's really all we need, because we ask for phone numbers, but if you type that in, the phone number will come up.
The phone number will come up, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's been. Look, I hope you go well on the. Well, I hope you go well on the Wednesday.
Wellness Wednesday or Mental Health Week.
Mental Health Week. Okay.
Wednesday, the 1st of October at the Mandurah Foreshore.
At the Mandurah Foreshore. Well, look, it's been very interesting, and again, you learn a lot. I learn a lot, so I always say I feel a bit guilty because I learn a lot.
Yes.
Whereas the people come in here, all they see is a studio. So it's been great. Is there anything more you'd like to say?
Yes, I just have these words of wisdom.
Oh,
if that's
thank you.
okay.
That'll be great.
There are some people who could hear you speak 1,000 words and still not understand you. And there are others who will understand you without you even speaking a word.
That's so relevant, isn't it?
It is.
It is so relevant. It's like you can listen to a song, and there's one line in that song, and you go, my goodness.
Yes.
If I was to write that song, I'd have to write about 300 words, but that particular artist has said it in about half a dozen words, and I thought, there's one which. A bloke just saying it, just a general, a bloke talks about his relationship, and it's obviously not a solid relationship, but it's an enduring relationship about love.
Yes.
And he said there's a need to be separate and there's a need to be one. It's a battle, neither wins. And I've always sort of understood what he means,
yes.
or what the line was about, and it's only sort of one line really.
Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about that one.
Yeah. Okay, thanks again. It's great having you in, and best of luck with the thing down on the foreshore.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just put a track on and we'll be back after that.